If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
And Karoline Leavitt.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
This wasn't just a debate, it was a live TV mic drop moment. Karoline didn't just stand up to Whoopi Goldberg, she took her apart piece by piece. She called out the double standards, sliced through the usual dramatics, and left the entire panel in stunned silence. It was a moment unlike anything The View has ever witnessed. Now, the fallout is real. ABC execs are scrambling with behind-the-scenes buzz about major shakeups. And Whoopi, her long-standing grip on the show might finally be slipping. So, what exactly did Karoline say that left Whoopi speechless on live television? You've got to see it to believe it. But before we dive in, if you're here for unapologetic truth and fiery political showdowns, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Hit that subscribe button. Perfect. Welcome to the crew. Now let's get into it.
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy.
The second Karoline Leavitt stepped onto the set, the fireworks started flying.
Because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border.
What started as a conversation quickly spiraled into a full-on ambush.
A strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism.
Whoopi, with her signature smug expression, was already rolling her eyes before Karoline could even finish her first.
Trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech.
And Joy Behar, she wasted no time jumping in with one of her classic sharp-tongued jabs.
Corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race.
This wasn't a debate. It was a calculated hit job, plain and simple.
And gender and sex and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
The ladies of The View figured they could gang up on Karoline over wokeness and shut her down. But what happened next? Let's just say they were in for a shock.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Oh, so now we're judging women by their looks? The irony couldn't be more obvious. These are the same voices who never stop preaching about empowering women, until that woman happens to be a conservative. Then, like clockwork, the rules change. The mockery begins, the insults come out, and all that talk of supporting women disappears without a trace.
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit of, well, thank you.
Let's get into the facts. Karoline Leavitt's achievements.
I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing, because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman.
Her accomplishments are through the roof, and she achieved them before most people even hit their peak.
Held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
She's sharp, ambitious, and already making big waves at a young age.
Because Karoline Leavitt worked, I mean, she went to St. Anselm College. She worked for WMUR
Ran for Congress.
In New Hampshire. She ran for Congress at the age of 25.
And then there's Whoopi. What has she done lately other than throwing shade and rolling her eyes? Honestly, it's starting to feel less like criticism and more like plain bitterness.
She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Pregnant, yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday.
Not a stutter, not a pause.
And this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater.
As the panel tried to throw her off, she held her ground with unshakable confidence and poise. They came at her, but she didn't budge.
And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job
It's obvious. These women are completely out of touch with reality. They exist in a bubble, echoing each other's views and shutting everyone else out. And you're absolutely right. It's time for ABC to wake up and recognize that viewers are fed up with the nonsense.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
Then came the moment that flipped the entire room on its head.
Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the
expectation
panel.
for-
Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
Now, let's see what Whoopi had to say about all this. And just a heads up, it's not exactly earth-shattering. Honestly, there's not much of substance here. But in the name of fairness, we're giving both sides a chance. Brace yourself for the spin.
Even afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate.
Karoline fired back with zero hesitation.
I think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of everybody's against me?
Whoopi, do you even hear yourself?
Rigged, I tell you! Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week.
Whoopi, do you even hear yourself?
He's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
You sit up here preaching about women's empowerment, but the second a conservative woman finds success, you reduce it to her looks. That's your version of empowerment? Boom, the room went completely silent. Even Joy Behar, the queen of interruptions, had no words. But Karoline wasn't finished. She went in. Wokeness isn't about equality. It's a political tool, a way to silence anyone who dares to disagree. And Whoopi, you prove that every day on this show. The gasps from the audience were so loud you could feel it in the studio. Within moments, social media exploded. Whoopi had been exposed, Karoline unleashed, and The View was trending nationwide. And ABC. They were in full-blown panic mode. And what happened next? Trust me, it only made things worse.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by
Boom! And just when you thought it was over,
many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that.
Karoline hits back with even more fire.
We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
ABC executives were left scrambling. Reports started leaking, and it was clear. The fallout was real. Producers were livid, sponsors were jittery, and even the most loyal View fans began turning against Whoopi. Then came the real shocker. Whoopi Goldberg was mysteriously absent from the next episode. And ABC's official statement? Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent discussions. Yeah, sure, we all know exactly what that means. Whoopi, the face of The View, suddenly found herself on the chopping block. But the drama didn't stop there. The writing was on the wall. ABC now faced a huge decision. Do they clean house and restore some balance to The View? Or do they keep doubling down and risk complete cancellation? Let's be honest, this show thrives on controversy. But when the backlash starts outweighing the ratings boost, it's all over. And right now, ABC is walking a razor-thin line. Advertisers are pulling back, their credibility is shot, and viewers are tuning out. The end could be near for The View. Could Karoline Leavitt have just delivered the final blow? Alright, now it's your turn. Was Karoline Leavitt's takedown the most epic moment in The View's history? Did Whoopi finally cross the line, and does she deserve to be fired? And most importantly, is this the end of The View? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And before you leave, hit that like button and subscribe to Celeb Vortex so you never miss any breaking news or uncensored drama. This is Celeb Vortex, where the chaos never ends.